Yo, how goes it? I just wanted to make a quick tutorial on how to use StreamLabs OBS. I got a viewer the other day asking me how I got my stream set up the other way. So first of all, I really appreciate the compliment. Just goes to show that the quality I'm putting out there is decent enough to be imitated. So thanks, really appreciate that. Second, the first thing you want to do before you even download OBS is clean your room. This is now your workspace. If you're deciding to treat streaming as anything more than just a hobby, and even if you are doing it as a hobby, you definitely don't want to have a messy bed in the background. That's just not okay. But yeah, clean your room, download OBS, you open it up, you get this right here. What you're looking at is what will happen when you open OBS. Obviously, you won't have the webcam and that overlay. These socials right here are what are referred to as an overlay. You're going to have your scenes, your sources, and your mixer. Your mixer is going to have your different audio, and you can adjust that from here. Your scenes, you're going to want to create a scene. I have a bunch of different scenes for my stream, so that's how I go from, starting soon, like this, to be right back, ending, my gaming, which is all right here. It's going to have a game. I'm going to have an intermission where I have my chat underneath my webcam and that kind of stuff. So right now, what I'm going to do is go over my gaming, because this is where you're going to spend most of your time as a streamer. And I'll go into my other scenes in the second part of this video, because like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. So let's go ahead, and you're going to hit the plus to hit a new scene. You're going to label this. I label this as gaming or whatever you want to label, like main. Be pretty detailed with your naming. It helps you keep yourself organized. So yeah, just make sure you're pretty detailed with that. So I'm going to go ahead and name this gaming 1 just for the sake of the demonstration. And I hit done. Once you hit done, you're going to have an all black screen. I don't want to hit done just yet, because then you guys won't be able to see what's actually going on my screen. So you're going to have an all black screen here, and you're going to have your sources, and this is going to be empty. So once you're ready to add an image, once you're ready to add a source, you're going to go ahead and hit the plus arrow right there, the plus symbol for your sources. And the first thing you really want to do is add your display or your game. If you hit display, it'll capture everything that's on your monitor or your secondary monitor if you have one. Your game capture is only going to capture what's going on if it's considered a game. So kind of like I had in my gaming, you couldn't really see what was going on because I wasn't playing a game at the time. But if you want everything to show, hit display. For the sake of the demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and hit display capture, and you can hit add source, and it's going to allow you to name it, because you're going to be brought up with this. I named mine full desktop, so that way I know exactly what's going on, and it's showing my entire desktop, not just a game. Like I said, it's really helpful to be detailed with your naming. Go ahead and hit add source, and it'll have everything here that's on your screen, obviously not the webcam and the overlay at the top. We're going to add those next. So you're going to hit add source again, and you're going to go to image, and this allows you to add your overlays. So I got my game overlay, my webcam overlay. You're not going to have these here because you haven't added them before. You're going to be brought with this menu. Once again, be pretty detailed with your naming. I'm going to go ahead and add I'm going to refer to this as my gaming overlay just because it's on my screen at the time that I'm gaming. I'm going to name it gaming overlay 2, hit add source, and this will allow you to choose an image. So you're going to browse, and like I have a folder that I downloaded from a website, which I will leave a link in the description down below. You can get free stuff from them, and you can get paid stuff from them. The paid stuff always looks a little nicer, and it is kind of worth shelling out the money for. This particular overlay I have set up on my stream was paid for. My donations covered that, so thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead and go for overlays. And you're going to want to add a border. So you can look up like webcam overlays online. You can look through the website. I'm going to go ahead and link down in the description below. Let's go ahead and add a webcam with the events. I like that because like that way you're still interacting with all your fans while you're streaming, even if you're not necessarily engaging with them at the time. Gonna go ahead and hit open, hit done. Actually, before you hit done, you definitely want to click this box off. What this does is keep your CPU usage down. I have a pretty decent setup for my CPU, 8700K. And if I don't uncheck this box, it'll max out my CPU. So you definitely want to go ahead and check out these boxes on all the images you add. So that way your OBS isn't taken away from your game performance and your stream doesn't lag. So go ahead and hit done. And you're going to have that right there. You can go ahead and move it around and all that good stuff. Next, what you're going to do is add your webcam. So your webcam is going to be from your video capture device. video capture device, hit add source, and I already have a webcam set up. You can add a new source. This is what's going to be present for you. You're not going to have a webcam. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add source, and what that'll do is bring up this menu here. I don't want to go ahead and alter my existing overlay. So what that'll do is, like, I named it webcam logic, just so that way you know. It will actually bring up, oh, this is different. It'll bring up this menu. Normally you can right click and click properties to bring up menus like that. And from there you'll be able to select your webcam. If you have multiple, you'll be able to configure the video. This will help you like adjust white balance and stuff like that. And the next thing you're going to want to do is hit resolution, hit custom. You always want to have custom resolution. If you're going to be using your webcam off to the side, you really don't need more than 1080. It's going to just put more unnecessary strain on your CPU. 60 frames so it looks nice if your PC can handle it. If not, you can go down to 30. Video format, you can hit motion JPEG or any. I set mine to motion JPEG. It actually doesn't really matter what you set. Most of the time there's not much of a difference in between both of those, but you might want to test them out on your particular build. Hit the color space. I'm just going to go ahead and edit the way the colors look on the screen. Just go ahead and leave that at default, because you're going to be really messing around with your video in the configure video tab. If you hit configure video, it'll bring up a Windows menu. And this will have brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, white balance, all that good stuff. You're going to want to mess around with that stuff to make it look nice. On this particular webcam I have, the white balance was actually pretty set when I hit auto, just because I have some decent lighting in the back. From here, you're going to want to hit full. This way your video is just compatible with a lot of different devices. You know, you're going to assume that people are watching from different places, tablets, phones, computers, laptops, all that kind of stuff. Your buffering, you can just leave that on auto detect. If you want to flip the webcam vertically, you can. You want to set this capture audio only. Last time I set it to output desktop audio. I was basically listening to myself while streaming and that was just echoing. You don't want to go ahead and do that. So just leave it on capture audio only and use custom audio device. You're going to set that up to your mic. I have it set up to my RTX mic, and then you can hit done. So what that'll do is put your webcam there. It'll put it up and it'll be pretty big at the time. What you're going to do from there is, I'll just go ahead and move this for the sake of the demonstration because I can always undo it. Let's say it brings it up, like it's going to bring it up in the top left corner. You can drag that down and bring it to the overlay and just size it up like that. You can use the arrow keys to get precise movement. And if you hold down Alt as you drag it, you can crop some of that out too. So you can see I cropped out some of my webcam on mine, so that way it fits nicely in the 16:9. Once you get that all set, just gonna go ahead and undo all that stuff. Once you get that all set, you're gonna want to go ahead and add a group. You add a group so that way all your webcam and your borders stay together. You don't want them to move individually. So as you see here, when I select that folder, it all moves together and I can resize it and downsize it the way I see fit. So that way I don't have to keep fiddling with it. So once you got all that stuff set up, you're going to want to add your stream labels if your overlay has spots for it. You don't necessarily have to add stream labels, but once again, I feel like it's a good touch. It's a good way to interact with the community while you're not necessarily engaging with them at the time. My stream labels are pretty easy to set up. Just go ahead and hit add new source and you're going to hit stream label. Hit add source and you're going to be brought up with this menu here. I'm just going to do rec follow for recent followers just for the demonstration. Whoops. Stream label. I'll just name it stream label 24 for now. And you're going to be brought down with the drop down list. This here will let you choose top 10 donors, top donations, donation amount, donors, top sub gifters, top 10, donation train, follow train, that kind of stuff right there. So I'm going to go down to followers because that's what my particular overlay has. And I'm going to do most recent follower if I can find it. Top cheers, cheer amount, cheers, followers. Total follower count, most recent follower. You can do your session followers. It'll go up to 100 max if you're a large streamer. You probably already know how this works, but just in case you're getting a refresher on this, it's only going to go through 100 of your followers. Session follower count, session most recent follower. Session just means that particular stream. Most recent follower is going to carry over from stream to stream to stream. So if you're a relatively new streamer, you probably want to leave most recent so that way that side isn't empty. So most recent follower, and it's going to have the name here. You want to use Google font. That way you have more options to choose. And you're going to want to make it congruent with the rest of the stream. It just looks really presentable that way. You can change the font size. You can always resize it with dragging the mouse. Text transform if you want to make it all uppercase or lowercase. You know, just to fit the theme of your stream. You can change the color of this as well, and you can change the background as well. So if you turn the opacity all the way down to 0, it'll be blank. If you turn it all the way up, it'll be whatever color you want to be, and you can make it more or less transparent using the opacity slider. Go ahead and hit done. It's going to add it to the top left corner, and you can go ahead and drag it. So let's go ahead and drag it right here. And once again, you're going to want to make this into a folder. So you're going to add source, and you're going to want to label this pretty detailed. So webcam with overlay. And once you do that, you're going to StreamLabs 24, drag that there, drag this here. And that way, when you go ahead and move this, it moves together. And then you can resize it, and you're assuming that your webcam is right there too. Then you can add more stream labels from there. So my stream labels are set up with the most recent follower, the largest donation, and the most recent subscriber. So that's how I have mine set up. And then from there, you're going to want to just add one more source to get it to the way I have mine, which is an image. This image here is going to persist throughout your screen. So you're going to hit add new source, and you're going to type the name of the image. Or just, like I said, be pretty detailed with this. Do gaming overlay 3. Add source, and it's going to allow you to browse. And let's say you want to add the social bar here. Unload image we're not using, or we're not showing. Once again, keep your CPU usage down. Hit done. And what that gaming overlay 3 will do is allow you to move this around. And that way you can go ahead and see what's going on there. And you can center this by hitting transform, center horizontal. You want to center vertical, you can do that as well. That'll center on the screen. You can rotate this if you need to, and you can edit transform to change the size to something very particular. This allows you to get the size. It's kind of hard to see because it's moving so slowly, but you can see it moving. Allows you to get everything really good. You can also use the position, but you can also use the arrow keys for that. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that for now. Actually, let's undo that, because that was supposed to be the one that was up there. I accidentally moved my... Let's go ahead and remove the gaming overlay 3. And we're going to move this gaming overlay with using the arrow keys. So that way my socials stay plugged. All right. So that's it for the first part. I didn't want to make this video a 30-40 minute long video, so I'm going to go ahead and break down the second part for the rest of the scenes. The rest of the scenes are pretty straightforward, except for the intermission scene. That one's going to be a little bit more detailed. So I'll catch you in the next video.